Hello, good afternoon. This is Michelle Scaife, the Extension Agent with Better Living for Texans in Montgomery County, part of Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service. I am at the Montgomery County Extension Office, our test gardens, and I wanted to address some questions that are going to come up today and that have been coming up all day today about frost. What do we do with these plants that have been affected by the frost, or how do I know my vegetables were affected by frost? So let's jump right in. If we look right here, this was a beautiful squash plant just this weekend. As you can see, it has a lot of grayish, sloppy green, damaged looking plant fiber. This squash is done. Unfortunately, there isn't anything we can do to save this plant, and our best bet would be to go ahead and remove it. You can see around it all of these beautiful green lettuces that are in excellent condition. They are fine, no damage was done. We leave those alone, just remove the damaged squash plant. All right, here in the bed in front of me, we have a mishmash of things. On this edge, we had some bush green beans. Over here, more bush green beans. And in the center are some of the red sail lettuce and then some baby romaine. Now, from looking at this, the greens, the romaine and the red sails, perfectly fine, undamaged little lettuce plants. However, green beans have died. These are damaged by frost. Unfortunately, we cannot save these plants, so those need to go ahead and be removed. And most likely what we'll do, since we have greens here that are in a nice condition, we will probably remove these damaged plants and go ahead and put more lettuce out now. Okay, you can see in the distance, way back here, we have collards, we have, let's see, there's cabbages and broccolis and Brussels sprouts, and then way over there, those are cauliflower. All of those, perfect condition, zero damage, nothing to worry about. The little brown right here and right here, those are our marigolds, and generally they're there as a companion plant for pollinators. They also deter pests. They have some frost damage, but they're not damaged so much that we need to do anything to them. They're not completely dead. They are affected, but not dead. There's no reason to remove them. We can leave them there so that those blooms can continue to go to seed and we can harvest the seeds from them. I'm going to turn a little bit this way. These are pole beans or runner beans. As you can see, they go up this beautiful new trellis system, and I'm going to come close so you can really see what it looks like. Here, this leaf is so damaged, bless its heart. The frost really attacked these beans, and unfortunately, you know, they're tender, so there's not anything we can do. You can see here a frost-affected green bean. Those green beans, those plant cells have frozen, burst, and then thawed back out. So all of these green beans are gonna have to come down. So what in the world are we gonna do? Well, in a situation like this, these green beans can come out. The possibility would be to either let the bed rest, or you could plant peas here, which are very cold tolerant. They do well. Or you could simply let the trellis be and plant some sort of greens down underneath of here. Greens, turnips, radishes, things of that nature. If your larger things, your fruit trees, and I'm kind of walking this way because off in the distance, you see we have a bunch of fruit trees here and beyond. Most of those fruit trees look fine. The little bit of damage that is on them is minimal. We're just gonna leave them alone. We're early into the winter and the cold season, so damage may happen later on. So right now, any of our plants, any of our fruit shrubs or fruit trees, we're just gonna leave them be. We're not gonna trim off damaged foliage until we're pretty much past our worst part of the cold season. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope this kind of gave you a little visual on what it is we're seeing in the garden and what may or may not have happened. One thing that you don't see out here in our garden is tomatoes. We had a lot of green beans, and of course, as you can see, we lost those. We didn't really have tomato plants. Our master gardeners don't test tomato plants into the fall and winter simply because we know what happens. A lot of times they're going to freeze before they produce well. If you have a tomato plant, excuse me, and it only has minimal damage, you know, more than 2/3 of the plant is unaffected by frost, leave it alone. Let those tomatoes ripen on the vine, go from there. You could, if the tomato plant is damaged or moderately damaged, we're going to pull that tomato out and hang it upside down from its roots somewhere in your garage, in your house, in your greenhouse. And what's going to happen is all of the nutrients from the roots and the stem are going to kind of go down into those unripened or under-ripened tomatoes and allow them as much possibility to ripen. You could also harvest everything off that tomato and just throw it out. If your tomatoes have a hint of blush, a hint of color, they will ripen indoors. If they are very, very green, then I encourage you to make like a green tomato salsa or something like that to utilize those green tomatoes, or, you know, fried green tomatoes, whatever your preference is. Again, most of what we see out here is in great shape. We do still have time to put in carrots and lettuces and greens and turnips and radishes. Hit me with your questions. I'm here to help. I've been answering garden questions all day, and I have no problem answering you guys tonight. So hope this was helpful.